Welcome back to Finnegan's Garage. Today is a big day here for both of us because we are finally working on the attempted murder Nova. Yeah, Dave's baby.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember from episode 53 of this show, a really cool guy named Hunter White connected with us and actually bestowed his 540 cubic inch big block Chevy and Tremec TKO 5-speed manual gearbox to Dave for the attempted murder Nova, so that Dave could go back to drag week and try to go faster than he did last year when he melted most of his pistons.
Hopefully this year we don't do that.
Yeah. And today is, with any luck, the day we fire the car up. When we got it, it had a carburetor that I don't think had ever been run on the vehicle.
I think it was just sitting on there just to keep stuff from getting in the motor, but
yeah,
it didn't fit the motor.
Right, I think that carburetor was basically keeping the mice out of the motor.
Right.
And it was too small. So what we have going on today is a complete fuel system from Holley. This is a brand new Brawler 1050 CFM 4150 style carburetor. And we're going to show you what happens when you put that on this. Probably results in burnouts. That's my guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, let's go to work. All right, Dave.
What's up?
Drag week did not go so well. Tell us about it briefly.
I had plans on putting the Ramp Truck 454 in here to begin with. And we actually got our hands on the Earl Camino. And so I just ripped the whole drivetrain out of it, put all the electronics, fuel system, motor, transmission, everything out of that car into here. And it was going good. And then on the drive from Z-Max to Bristol, the ground wires for my fuel solenoids came loose. And therefore, my last pass, it was just nitrous only. So, it melted. It ended badly.
Camaro's having some difficulty. I see brake lights. Hopefully he can get that thing over to the side.
Driveline problemos there as David Newbern, 11:53.2 at 117 miles an hour. Oh, huge smoke down there at the top end of the racetrack for Newbern. You see a giant instantaneous cloud emitting itself from the base of the engine. I was, honest to God, about to say, well, at least the connecting rods are still in it. And then that happened.
So,
what happened after that?
well, we pulled outside the front gate and pulled the motor out of this thing. Bought a junkyard 350 from some guy from O'Reilly. We thought it had like 200,000 miles on it. Thing was nasty. So we put it in here, made the drive back to Commerce, and I made my last pass, like a 24-second pass at Commerce, and ended drag week. So
You finished.
I finished.
Which is huge.
Yes.
But you weren't going to go very fast with that old small block after you ruined it. And the one you got wasn't really going to go fast either.
No.
And then, nice guy Hunter White said,
Yeah.
hey, dude.
It was almost too good to be true. Like, I'm still like having to pinch myself because, like, look at this. Like, who does that? Like,
So, yes, and I know that since then you've waited many a night for this day because the motor's been in the car a while and you've pretty much...
I can't tell you how many videos on YouTube I've watched, like just big blocks just idling, 540s racing, like all this stuff. I've watched hundreds of videos just getting ready for this day. So
Cool.
I'm ready. I want to hear this thing run.
So we know it's a 540, right?
Right. It's a Dart Big M block. It's got Dart Pro 1 heads on it. It's a roller motor.
Those are a damn nice set of headers. Those lemons?
Yes. Those headers are huge and they fit perfect.
Yeah, there's a tech tip for you guys that don't know. Those came out of a first-gen Camaro. They fit the Nova
Yeah, same part number.
perfectly.
Yeah. Same subframe.
Dart intake, Dart Big M block, which means good foundation for even more power later. We're running MSD Digital 7 Plus ignition, which is programmable. And it's pretty cool. You can plug in a laptop and set your own timing curve, set launch retards, 3 different rev limiters for burnout going down the track, staging, all of that. It's got a really nice front drive accessory, but I think you're going to eliminate probably most of it because
Yeah, actually,
you don't run power steering, you don't run air conditioning.
the power steering was right here. I took it off so that way I could put a belt on it if we wanted to drive it today. But yeah, that accessory is insane. Unfortunately, I can't use any of it.
Yeah, because you have no plans to... It's a race car and street car, so he wants to save weight. So the AC's coming out, the power steering's not going to be on there.
Just the alternator.
You'll go something basic.
Yeah.
So today, carburetor, fuel pressure regulator, lines back to the tank, and we're going to take out the electric fuel pump. And because we have the provision for one, because it's a Gen 4 style block, we're going to put a mechanical fuel pump from Holley right there. And then burnouts.
Yes. I'm all about eliminating electronics. So after last year...
How many alternators did you kill?
3. One before I even left my house.
How big were those alternators?
There's stock GM alternators. That was my problem. So
they're like 60 amp alternators, and
if that.
You had electric fuel pump, you had electric fan, you had incandescent light bulbs. Mm-hmm. All that adds up to, yeah, stock alternator, probably not going to work. All right, let's take a look at the parts. First thing we're doing, installing a 170 gallon per hour Holley mechanical fuel pump. That is a beast. And it has -8 O-ringed ports instead of tapered pipe thread. On the inlet and outlet side, you can clock the base.
Which I had to do.
You had to do that? Okay.
Yeah. And all you do is just take these screws out and just be careful not to hurt the diaphragm in there. Take it loose, and I had to clock it one screw hole this way because this was hitting the subframe. So, but now it clears perfect.
Yes. And you don't have to worry about the added electrical draw on your charging system that would come with an electric fuel pump.
I've never had a mechanical fuel pump fail. Unless it's been sitting and like dries out, but like as far if you drive it all the time, and I've never had one fail. So
I haven't either. And you're saving precious amps, which you obviously need because you keep killing alternators.
Another tip, I got the fuel pump push rod in there. I put a little grease on it, push it up in there, and that'll actually hold it up in there while you're trying to install this thing. Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. All right, let's put this in. So for those of you at home that have ever done this, at the bottom of the fuel pump mounting boss is a hole that has a pipe plug in it. You can take that out, and that's how you'll install and remove the fuel pump push rod, which is actuated by a lobe on the front of the camshaft. And Dave just shoved his finger up in there to make sure the push rod was up far enough so that he could install our new mechanical fuel pump and make sure that the push rod pushes on the lever of the pump. It doesn't get caught under the pump. Did you put any lube on the end of the push rod before you installed it?
I put grease on the end of the, on the end of the push rod itself.
All right. So we'll bolt this down and then hook up some fuel lines here. So the attempted murder Nova actually had an electric fuel pump back here, which we're removing and going mechanical. And so we're replumbing the back end of the car. That's -10 braided hose from Earl's. Oh, is there a gas? Is there a... Oh, no, dude. Why is there a pan of gas on the ground where I can kick it?
Why do you always do this to me?
What do you mean, me?
You remember last time?
It wasn't me the last time. These are a brand new pair of Vans. Ruined.
Oh.
That sucks, man. I like these shoes. I mean, it sucks for you too, but...
Oh.
Oh, man, it smells like we're going to blow up the garage in here now.
Now I gotta get naked.
I'll get you a shirt. We'll be back. I got kids. Why'd you leave that on the ground?
I wasn't done.
Kids like me kicking
I got more
stuff.
fuel line up here to take loose.
Kicking stuff. Shit. Okay, we're back. And the attempted murder Nova has a -10 fuel line. You can hear my neighbor's lawnmower because the garage door is open now because it's kind of fumey in here. I'm rolling. I'm not kicking anything.
I got everything away from you. I have a change of clothes and I'm ready to work.
That's a hell of a way to tell people about the Blasphemy Speed Parts Killer shirt that you can buy at fsmgarage.com.
What I go through to promote a shirt.
Oh my god, I'm getting a headache. No, we can't do this yet. I gotta get out of here. You shouldn't be in there, dude. It stinks so.
I want to hear it run.
I did too, but I don't want to. You know, I want to be coherent when it's running.
Look, here. This is what we're doing.
You can't start the car now. It's gonna blow up. What?
We're gonna put this stuff in.
What is it?
I forgot.
See, it's the fumes. Here, it's on the computer. Look. We got this stuff because that dash 10 line is going right past the exhaust of the car, and yeah, my laptop screen is broke, but look, flame guard insulation comes in black, comes in a weird orange color. It'll work up to 500 degrees of temperature, so pretty much not melting it.
Yeah.
And it will keep the fuel from getting really hot.
I'm gonna put this on. Stay away from me.
Okay. I'm gonna be outside because it sucks. Well, Dave's got fuel pump on the motor. He's thrown his nitrous plate back on top of this intake. The same nitrous plate that he used to demolish the last engine in this car. But I don't think he's gonna try it right away, which is good. Right now, it's essentially a spacer that will enable us to bolt this quick fuel brawler carburetor on top of that dark intake. Without some sort of space, or at least a half-inch tall, the accelerator pump squirters won't clear the corners of the mounting pad for the intake. So this has to be on here even though we're not using it right away. You're just gonna learn to drive the car, right?
Sure.
Okay. So here's what you want to know about the carb and why we chose it. All aluminum construction, right? You've got cast aluminum main body, billet aluminum metering blocks, and a billet aluminum throttle body portion of it. It has lots of adjustability. Obviously, you can change the main jets, but you also have adjustable air bleeds up top here. This carburetor is machined and assembled in the USA. And from what I've seen on some of the other dyno tests, these work pretty good out of the box. So with any luck, we're gonna connect the ignition on this car, prime this thing, and it should fire right up without us having to turn too many wrenches or screwdrivers. So here's what I was talking about. Right there. Got a little bit of an interference with the base of the carburetor and the mounting pad on the intake manifold. Spacer solves that problem, and we have one. It just happens to have spray bars in it for 2 stages.
Well, long term, it'll just be a single stage. It'll just be like a half-inch tall, but that's all I got right now, so okay. We'll make it work.
So you're saying right now, this is some sort of pledge that you don't intend to use both stages of the NOS kit?
I said long term, I'm gonna get a single stage. I didn't say right now. It's there.
Sorry, engine. Sorry.
I got a fuel safety switch now.
All right. So that's going on there. Allegedly not going to get connected. Allegedly not going to get used. I'm not quite buying that, but okay. Whatever. And then that goes on there. And then your old cow hood probably not going to fit because that's pretty tall. Pretty tall. Okay, let's look up some lines and wires. Also in the Brawler lineup, some really nice accessories, like this anodized aluminum throttle cable mount. It's very trick. And we've also got on the other side a nice aluminum mount for the fuel pressure regulator. Which is, where's that? Right there. Okay.
Take that out.
Yeah, so it'll be dash 10 into the bottom, dash 6 out the top for now. Dash 6 should be enough to fuel this motor, because I'm guessing this thing's probably going to make about 700 horsepower. And we'll have dash 10 going all the way up to the regulator, so we should be good there.
700 NA.
700 NA.
950.
950 what, with the first stage?
Yeah.
250 shot, I like it, it's aggressive. Oh boy, here we go. Carb is on, regulator's in place. You'll notice there's an extra hose here coming out of this port, and that hose is going to a fuel pressure gauge. Now this gauge doesn't have the resolution you'd really want because it goes to 100 psi. It's for EFI, but we can get it close. This carb is calibrated from the factory to run best at 6.5 pounds of fuel pressure, so that's what we're gonna shoot for. We've also got a vacuum gauge here. That's plumbed into manifold vacuum in the base of the carb. what we're looking for there is as we get the fuel pressure set, get it to idle stable, then we'll start playing with the idle mixture screws on this carburetor. There's 4 of them, 1 in each quarter. As we adjust those a quarter of a turn in and out, the idle speed should change, and so should the vacuum. If the idle speed goes up, then it's running more efficiently and it likes the change you just made. And as a result, not only does the engine RPM increase, but you should have more inches of vacuum here. So we're gonna watch both of those and tune this thing for a good balance of idle quality and acceleration. How do you feel?
I think I got no belt on it, so can't run it for very long.
But you brought it over, no water pump belt? Oh, whatever, it's not my motor.
Who cares?
The car won't start because the starter and the flywheel are not happy. Yeah, I know you've been waiting since, what, October? And it's March?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel right now? What's one more night?
No, I don't think so. I'm going to go home and fix it.
You going to drag it all the way home?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to hear it run. One way or the other. If I have to pull the flywheel out, I ain't going to hear it run. If I have to put a starter on it, I'll do it.
Bad feeling it's not just the starter, it's the flywheel.
I know. Dang it! Go spin the motor over. Get it to a different spot.
All right. Just remember, it was, free big block and trans. I know it sucks.
I know.
I mean, it totally sucks. You've been waiting a long time.
I'm not complaining.
Don't hurt the wood grain wheel, man.
You pour gas all over me and my car won't crank.
My ass is on fire from gasoline. My pants are dirty. And my car still won't run.
It's got a pretty carburetor on it, though.
It's got a pretty carburetor on it.
Love to hear it run.
Well,
Gas in it.
now you got a chance to, fix those dangling nitrous solenoids.
Yeah, I guess.